All right, our final team in tonight is South Carolina Gamecocks. Representing the Gamecocks tonight, head coach Don Staley, student athletes Asia Wilson and Bianca Jackson. Coach, if you would, please make an opening statement.
It's great. It's a great game on North Carolina A&T's part. I thought they did some things to us that exposed us at this time of the season. They pressured us. They forced us into turnovers, and it forced us in playing some ugly basketball. And it wasn't just us. They had a lot to do with it. So hats off to them. Hopefully we've gotten it out of our system and play Virginia a little bit better on Sunday.
Open up for questions just for the student athletes at this time. If you would, please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you, David, with the first one.
Asia, Shay, if you could both talk about this, what Coach said about them forcing you to play some ugly basketball. Was it just something they were doing with that zone? Was it the physicality? What was it, the problems there?
I just felt like they were speeding us up, especially me. I had 5 turnovers, and they were just getting underneath us. They were playing underneath us and speeding us up. And that's something that we really have to be prepared for coming into the tournament, because teams are going to be watching that. Teams are going to look at that and see that they can speed us up and we'll turn it over. So I honestly think they just really got underneath us and really made us turn the ball over.
Just like Asia said, they were speeding us up. We weren't making great passes, trying to get the ball to the wings and into the post. So they were feeding off that, and they kept pressuring us as the game went on.
Other questions? Go over here to the right. Pete and Greg.
But Asia, you guys seem to be handling it pretty well in the first half. Did something change coming out? Was it just them in the second half, or was it something you guys weren't doing to kind of hold on to that lead?
They were just continuing putting on the pressure, and I think we still kind of got lax in situations that we shouldn't have. We got really comfortable, and that's not really good. They beat us in all 3 quarters, and that's unacceptable for us. Because, I mean, like Coach said in the locker room, like, we can't beat teams just winning 1 quarter, especially at this time of the year. So they just really kind of kept the pressure on us, but we didn't change, and we need change in order for us to win games the way that we're supposed to do and win within our system.
Go to Greg in front.
Bianca, talking about positives you can take from this, the 3 early threes for you. How confident are you feeling being this team's go-to three-point shooter?
I'm feeling pretty confident right now. My teammates always find me in a good spot, so I'm just ready and waiting to knock down shots.
Go to Greg in the middle.
Asia, what was the championship instincts in the fourth quarter? They cut it to 7. Where do you feel like the team was able to respond in there? And Bianca, that's your first experience in this postseason format. What did you notice out there in the court that changed once you guys answered the call down late?
I just feel like fourth quarter is normally where we really know that we have to turn it up. We really have to change our ways and really do us. And I think you kind of saw glimpses of it throughout the fourth quarter. I mean, Danye had great back-to-back baskets. Like, she really kind of helped us in that way. And I think that's just how we play. It's kind of sad that we got to wait all the way to the fourth quarter. But at the same time, I feel like that's what we've seen in a national championship game. That's what we've seen in games in the past is fourth quarter. And I think that's just how we attack things. We know fourth quarter is the last time, 10 minutes to really put in the work.
I feel like the biggest thing was leadership. These guys, they've played in a lot of big games and a lot of close games, so they were just telling us what we need to do and the will to win. So it was there for us tonight.
Let's go in the back. Tell who that is.
Did the layoff affect you guys at all? I mean, you guys got off to a hot start, but kind of fell asleep at the wheel there in the second half. Did that have an effect on you guys at all mentally?
I mean, yes, it could play a part in it. We haven't played basketball like that in about 2 weeks, so it is kind of tough. We still kind of had to get back in the swing of things. But I think the way that we played basketball is pretty unacceptable for us to do that, especially at this time of year, and especially coming off of a great performance that we had in the SEC. So we need to learn kind of from this experience and know that we have to get back to the SEC team that everyone saw.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Get Josh up front here.
Asia, starting 1 for 6 from the field, what wasn't working and what was the turnaround? Was it just settling in and getting in rhythm?
Yeah, definitely. I just wasn't focused at times, and I needed to be focused. And honestly, I feel like I disappointed Coach this game, and I really don't like this feeling. So when we watch film tomorrow, I'm going to watch film and see how I can change my ways, because, like I said, teams are going to be looking at that, and I don't want them to think that that's the way to stop me. Like, I have to still find a way to still contribute for my team in situations. So it was tough. It was really tough. But once I kind of got going, my teammates still trusted me with the ball, so I give it all to them, and I just got to work on it.
Any other questions for the student athletes? No? Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
You all can go.
Thank you.
Open up for questions for Coach Staley at this time. David with the first one.
Dawn, it seems like they're beating themselves up pretty bad about this, how this one was won. Was that something that you've already said to them, or is that them taking it on themselves and taking responsibility?
I don't know. I mean, I said my piece in the locker room. You know, this isn't, characteristic of a South Carolina women's basketball team performance, and it was very, very disappointing. And I'm not saying that, because I don't want to take anything away from North Carolina A&T, but they played extremely well. We have better basketball than us, and surely we're going to have to play it if we want to get out of the second round.
Let's go in the middle.
The question was asked to the players how much the layoff affected them. How much do you think them not playing a game in 12 days affected them?
I don't know. I mean, it's the NCAA tournament. It's the biggest tournament of college basketball. If that doesn't get you up, if that doesn't knock the rust off in the 12 days in between since we played, then you're playing the wrong sport.
Let's go in the middle here.
Yeah, Don, you seemed pretty low-key and kind of seated for much of the fourth quarter. Were you kind of just saying, okay, these guys have to learn how to play their way through this, and I've said my piece, now they just have to go do it? You seemed like you were kind of laid back there in the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, at some point I'm giving my instructions in the timeouts. Not really, there's no execution. And you just don't have enough timeouts to correct every possession. So I just kind of let them play it out, let them call. I think with what was happening out there, I think we just tried to run plays, try to execute plays, but they were making it difficult for us to make entry passes. They were making it difficult for us to dribble the ball. And with the team like that, and then they were pushing it down our throats. So, in a game like that, you got to push it back. You got to force them back on their heels. And I just tried to get us in some one-on-one situations where, we were aggressive, attacking the basket. That wasn't always what was happening out there, and forced us to turn the ball over a little bit too much. That created offense for them.
David.
Dawn, how you've seen Alexis have some really dominant games, but how tough is it to try to really get her started from the start so she doesn't kind of have a few quarters where she's slogging through the game?
I think it's important for her psyche. I think she's one that likes to get off to a good start, get some baskets, see the ball going in the hole. But I thought she turned up a few shots in the first quarter just to make an extra pass that led to, some great wide open three-point shots. I thought she's got some looks as well that she probably played a little bit too fast, and that's what the defense did. They sped us up to the point where it was enough to throw our shot off just a little bit. So we'll watch film a little bit, try to get her going early, because once she gets going, we're a different looking basketball team.
Go over to the right, Pete.
Dawn, I know you wanted to get the crowd out for this game. Were you pleased with the response from the community from Monday night to tonight? It looked like a typical crowd.
Yeah, it was typical. Got 11,000, over 11,000 people here. We had, 6,000, 6,100, I believe, or 6,600 on Monday. So the way the community responded to, my challenge was quite incredible. I don't know if that many people would have come to the game just on us relying on, the marketing, the great job our marketing department does. And they did a great job with helping us execute the challenge. And the ticketing office and everybody worked overtime to accommodate so many, ticket buying customers. So, truly proud of the crowd that was out there. We're going to need another big one on Sunday, and it'll be, the last time that we get a chance to see Asia Wilson play in the, in Colonial Life Arena. So, I'm quite sure she'll want to perform well, in her last game here.
Do you have a follow-up, Pete?
Yeah. Dawn, I know you're probably not thinking too much about it now, but does it matter at all? Does it touch you at all that you're playing Virginia?
No, it doesn't. It's the NCAA tournament. It's another game, another opportunity to advance to the next level. To the second weekend in the tournament. So, obviously it's my alma mater, and nothing, would be, better than to get a win in advance.
Go to the middle, Greg.
Coach, you've long mentioned the quick turnaround in tournament ball. Is this a situation where you're happy to be able to flesh out tonight and be able to move on to a game within less than 48 hours, or do you wish you had a little more time to look over this one and work with the team?
No, this is it, You don't have to play perfect basketball, and we were far from that. But we get a chance to play again. So that's the most exciting thing about it. You'll get a chance to prep, and we get a chance to, figure out some schemes to advance out of the second round. So I like this format. At least you get one game. The SEC tournament is a little bit more difficult in having to play 3 games in a row to win.
Go over here to the left.
Coach, in the game tonight, what would you say was probably, I know you talked about them speeding you guys, but do you feel like that was because you guys hadn't seen much of them being a mid-major school coming from HBCU? Do you think you guys were caught off guard a little bit by that?
Absolutely not. After watching them play a few times, you get the notion of this team is pretty disciplined. This team, can give us a little bit of trouble if we don't stop penetration, if we don't rebound the basketball, if we don't take care of the basketball. And those are some of the areas down the stretch. Those 3 areas down the stretch really hurt us. I just thought they had the hunger to win. A lot more than us. I thought we just kind of cruised, after we played a good first quarter. But they had a lot to do with it.
Josh.
Dawn, Shea started her night pretty hot. What did you see from her early on, and how nice is that to see a freshman start her NCAA tournament career like that?
It was great to see. It was great to see her knock down shots because, you had people giving up good shots to give her probably the best shot on the floor, and she was able to deliver. And that's what you want. She looked comfortable out there. She looked like, she'd been there before, and we're going to need everybody playing, like Shea did on Sunday. Do we know when we play?
Go to the back room, Joe.
Coach, in seeing UVA earlier, another physical team that, loves to play defense, 19 turnovers in this game. How do you guys address that as you guys prepare for a good defensive team in UVA?
You got to just tomorrow just do some things. And it's hard for us to simulate because, we can't. We got 9 players, so it's hard for us to simulate, some of the things that some of our opponents do to us. And, we also, play a lot of players, a lot of minutes, So part of our simulation is watching it and seeing where we can be effective. We come up with, different plays in which if we get ourselves in trouble, we're supposed to, go to our reserve, which is our safe house play, and it's not working. So I guess we got to, go back to the drawing board and figure out, some comfort, some pockets of comfort when someone's pressuring us as much as we got pressured last night and as much as we're going to get pressured on tonight.
Any other questions for Coach? If not, we'll wrap it up. The locker room is still open.
Thank you.
Is that correct, for a few more runs?